All right, you guys, today we are going to go over the rock hard lower control arm skid plates for the Jeep Gladiator JT. We have a Rubicon. It does work on all the different models. I went over this with the JL on the install and showed you guys some of the customizing that we had to do to make it work for what we tried, but ultimately had to give different shocks. The front is no different than it was on the JL. We just didn't take it off. We sold it the way it was with them on it. It wasn't worth my time and effort taking them off for the new kit. So absolutely nothing different from the front. If you want to learn how to do that, go through my video that showed it on the JL install. What I did want to talk to you guys about are the back two. So this one here is for the shock to save it from getting dented up. And this one here is for the lower control arm. While these things are super beefy, one of the things that me and another person were discussing were about these bolts. As you can tell, this bolt is completely tight like it's supposed to be. It's not loose or anything. There's no tricks being played here. But they do not send you additional nuts or bolts on this. They think that this is sufficient enough to hold that. And I don't know about you, but I'm not going to trust a bolt that's only halfway through to hold down a $50,000 vehicle from being involved in a wreck or anything else, because this wants to work its way loose. I know theoretically this should not come loose. It should not be a problem. But what I've done is gone up to the Ace Hardware, and for $20.52, I was able to get grade 8 bolts to replace both the lower control arm bolts and nut for this one, and also for the shock. And I can show you what my part numbers are. They'll pop up here in just a second. But I got the locking nut for this side here, so it can't back off. And on this one here, they didn't have the locking style, so we had to do the locking washer, which was okay. And then I also, for the extra $7, went to Advanced Auto and bought Loctite high strength, just so when I tighten these down to torque, the locking washer should prevent it from backing off, but then the Loctite will do just that much better. As you can tell, this is kind of the breakdown of it, and as you see, $20.52. So for roughly $21, this is going to really help just secure that up, because again, I just don't think that that is enough bite on that bolt to just say that's secure. I know these are not torqued down, but even if you look at their pictures online and you look at what other people are saying, that is almost as far as it goes. It obviously does tighten down a little bit when you torque it, but nowhere near coming out the end of this, and that's why we're going over this today for you guys. Okay, so this is from up underneath. As you can tell, we are in the process of putting on the Mopar 2-inch lift. That's just financially for what we decided to do for the easiest normal ride. But I had gone ahead and put these on with the shocks when putting it up and lowered it down, and discovered when you do that, you cannot get to this bolt. So if you're in the process of having everything already dropped, make sure that you're putting your lower control arm bolt in first before putting the shock one in, or you can't get to it. What I do is basically jack the Jeep back up and take these bolts back out. I hadn't tightened them down yet, and now we're going to get that in position, and then we'll do the shock mount, tightening back up. Alright, so as you can tell, this is them completely installed. Obviously they've been on for a few days, and you can see that we have gone off-roading a little bit. The only thing I will say that I kind of messed up on is when I put this bolt on this side, going back and looking at it once I had tightened everything up, I wish I'd actually put it on this side so the little bit larger piece that was over sticking was closer to the wheel and less likely to get hit. This does create a drag point that if you're off-roading, you can get this on a rock. Obviously a lot further before getting that. I might change that in the future if I get some time. It was easier to tighten it down on this side, but I would feel better with it sticking off on this side, a little bit better clearance. With that being said, they're doing very well. They have held up. Hang on them to off-road yet, but they do look good, and we'll see how they work off-road.